The rain came down hard that night, drumming against the tin roof of the small cabin tucked away in the Appalachian hills. Inside, by the flickering light of a fireplace, sat Elijah Granger, 16, wiry and worn far beyond his years. His hands were calloused, his clothes stitched at the seams, but there was a quiet strength in his eyes, a reflection of someone who had known struggle, yet chose kindness still. Ever since his father died in a logging accident 3 years prior, Elijah had become the man of the house. His mother, once vibrant, now lay frail in a small bed in the corner of the room, her lungs weakening each winter. The town doctor said she'd need medicine from the city, 2 hours away, and a treatment they simply couldn't afford. But Elijah, raised on his father's principles, honesty, sacrifice, love, refused to accept helplessness as fate. He chopped wood for neighbors, fixed fences, cleaned barns, anything to bring in a few dollars. He never asked for more than was offered. Still, it wasn't enough. One morning, with the mist curling low across the hills, Elijah overheard a conversation in the town diner. Old Mr. Holbrook, the richest man in 2 counties, had lost his prized horse in the dense forest 3 days prior and was offering $500 to anyone who could bring it back safely. That kind of money could pay for his mother's treatment and more. Elijah stood up without finishing his coffee, nodded respectfully to the men at the table, and slipped out into the rain. The search was brutal. For 2 days and nights, Elijah combed the forest, calling out through the trees, pushing through thickets, wading across icy streams. On the 3rd day, half-starved and drenched, he finally found the mare, mud-caked, limping and caught in barbed wire near an abandoned shed. He spent hours calming her, whispering gently like his father once did with their old mule, until she let him touch her. He freed her, tore his shirt to bandage her leg, and walked her slowly back through the mountains, guiding her with nothing but a frayed rope and a heart full of hope. Mr. Holbrook was stunned to see the boy leading the horse down Main Street. The whole town watched as the old man came forward, his face unreadable. Elijah stood tall, exhausted but proud. "You've done a fine thing, son," Holbrook said. "I reckon you've earned this." He pulled a thick envelope from his coat pocket, but Elijah stepped back. "Sir, I didn't come for money." Holbrook blinked. "Didn't you hear about the reward?" "I did," Elijah said softly. "But if you don't mind, I'd like to ask something different." The townsfolk leaned in closer. "My mom's real sick," Elijah said. "She needs medicine, and I don't got enough. I reckon you've got some pull down in the city. If you could help her get treated, that'd be more than money ever could buy." There was a long silence. Then something shifted in Holbrook's weathered eyes, something old and human and forgotten. "You're a good boy," the man finally said, voice thick. "A good son. You got yourself a deal." In the days that followed, things changed. Holbrook personally arranged for Elijah's mother to be transported to the city, paid for her care, and quietly slipped groceries onto their porch every week after. He never said a word about it. And Elijah, though grateful, never boasted. He simply worked harder, smiled more, and took time to help others the way he always had. Years later, when Elijah stood at the pulpit of the community church, no longer a boy but a man, with hands still calloused and a heart still humble, he told the story of his mother's recovery, of the horse in the forest, and of a wealthy man changed by a son's love. The town wept, not out of pity, but pride. And so Elijah Granger became more than just a boy from the hills. He became a symbol of quiet courage, of selfless love, of the kind of goodness the world often forgets but desperately needs. Because sometimes the most powerful change doesn't come from grand gestures, but from the unwavering virtue of a single heart.